So now we come to stanza number 163. We are discussing, because of the understanding and some experience of wisdom, we will be able to, free ourselves from eight worldly dharmas, clinging to eight worldly dharmas, and therefore liberate ourselves, and also really inspires us to have natural and genuine compassion without any selfish motives, by understanding the suffering of the universe, all the beings. And we are going through this, looking at the sufferings of the people who are continuously suffering in the ocean of samsara because of their this inability or disability to understand the nature of the phenomena, the emptiness and the interdependence. So we discussed this in some standards before, and now says that because of this deluded state of our mind, many times, even if we go through lots of suffering and pain and problems, sometimes we don't even understand it is suffering. We think it's exciting. We think it's, we are so much attached to to our life, to the things. Everything is so familiar to us. We, of course, always struggling to free ourselves from suffering. And then, but then, we don't understand this. So that's why it says, said it is indeed that living beings, carried on the flood of bitter pain, however terrible their plight may be, do not perceive they suffer so. They don't understand that they are suffering. They just think this is normal, and I have to get over something, I have to get rid of something, I have to get something, and then this will give me the kind of most nice experience and things like that. We always are struggling. We always in tension. We always, running after something. We always are afraid of things. We always trying to get rid of something. And then we mistakenly think that if I get that I'm running after, or if I can get rid of this that I'm running away from, then it will be so good and it will be complete happiness. And that happiness will be there kind of permanently. Although, we don't have to look deeper to see that even if I had this, if I get this, what I'm after, I'm not going to become totally happy. It is not the end of my problems. More problems will come, similar problems and even more. I'm not going, and this is not to give me the complete satisfaction or happiness or anything. And same with the running away from. We think that if I don't have this, but I don't have this, I get another one. If I don't have this, I get another one. So, and then even if I have some good things, some happy life and some pleasure for some time, it is so temporary, so flickering, so and there is nothing which remains for even short times sometimes. So this goes on and on and on. But we think that we are really getting, so then we would go. Like some there are who bath themselves repeatedly, and afterwards they scorch themselves with fire. They take bath, they take like cold, water, and then they go to fire, and then it scorches you, and then think, I'm having pleasure. But actually, when you are very cold, you get fire, and you think it is pleasure, but actually it's not pleasure. It's just, that strong cold that you get, feeling of cold that you get, that's a little bit, and then it burns, and then you go to cold water again, and then you feel that it's so nice and it's pleasurable, but actually suffering intensely all the while. Yet there they stay, proclaiming loud their bliss. So it's a little bit like that. This is just an example. What it really means to say is that, there are lots of people, even the suffering they go through, they see as something nice, or, some they are, likewise, there are some who live and act as though old age and death will never come to them. But then life's over, and there comes the dreadful fall into the states of loss. There are lots of people who kind of deny the impermanence, death, and all the sufferings and pain coming. They think that I'm going to live forever, that always will be so nice and happiness, everything will go good, and then live as if I'm never going to die. But then nobody can escape death, nobody can escape illness, nobody can escape old age, nobody can escape meeting or happening things that you don't want. Nobody can escape the incidences of not getting what you want. But then you always feel or think or expect that everything, and then when there's something negative happens, then you are so shocked that why it's happening to me. No, not it's happening to everybody. Everybody is dying. Everybody is losing their dear and near ones. Everybody having problems, but then you think it's happening only to me when that happens, because you never, of course you saw all these things happening to everybody, but you never thought it will happen to me. So that's why you get so shocked. You get so shocked when something like a disease happens, or something, some kind of very unwanted happens, and then you are so shocked. You think, oh, how it is possible it's happening to me? But it's happening to everybody. Some they are, likewise. And then not only negative things happen, but you die also. And suddenly you die, then life's over. And there comes the dreadful fall into the states of loss. You die, and 166. When shall I be able to? Now this, and then, when you die, again, some people think that, when I die, it's be completely no problem, and, all good things will come, or, that's also, you never know. It depends on how you are, what you have been doing, what kind of, karma you have accumulated. And if you have not done anything good, anything positive, then you might go through even more problem and maybe more suffering in the next life. So therefore, and this goes on and on and on, a little bit life okay, and then you don't do anything positive and do lots of negative things, and then you fall down and go through so much suffering, and then slowly you go up, and then that's, like this circle, that's what you call wheel of life. It's a little bit like, as long as you are in this samsaric state of mind, it's a little bit like a fly in a bottle which is closed. You can go up a little bit and you can go down a little bit, but you never get out of it. You don't know how to get out of it. As long as you are not out of it, you keep on having problems. You keep on suffering. It's not that you don't have any, good time or pleasurable time, but when you have those good times, you waste it. So somebody who has a little bit of wisdom sees this, and then, let me read the Tibetan. Tetra shindu dungal yung, rondu muntong kong pa, dunga chowo ninda jihab nyange shabaru. Penmangashi yoyong chushi te yoyong merju pa, teta shindu dungal wa nichu danyo delang shan. Tetra gaton cheme pa yinda shuepi ninala. Tomanyet se sine nge song tongwa maze hongs. I've also met people, especially young people, who said that, why you said there is suffering in the life? There is no suffering. It's all so good. It's so wonderful. It's so nice. They don't, they don't look around. They don't look around. Maybe they've been lucky to have no big problems in their lives so far. But if you still have a little bit, eye to look around, you don't have to go to third world countries, if you go to third world countries and things like that, and then you will be shocked. But even if in your, first world, there's lots of suffering, lots of problems, lots of pain. And this is just in human world. And, if you look at the animal world, these are things we can see. Anyway, tetra dungal midon la sulam trele lesion rongi devi chu charchi shije pata nam shinjers. Now this is, the Bodhisattva's kind of intention or motivation. When shall I be able to allay and quench the dreadful heat of suffering's blazing fires? With plenteous rains of my own bliss that pour torrential from my clouds of merits. So all these people who are suffering, relentlessly in the fire, it's like the way people are suffering is like in you can say, it's like, jumping from the frying pan to the fire, kind of whatever they do, they cannot get out of this cycle of samsara. So therefore there's continuous burning, continuous pain, continuous sources of suffering and things like that. So therefore, only way you can get out of that is through accumulating, two things. One is the accumulating positive actions, and then accumulation of wisdom. That's what we call two accumulations. Accumulation of positive actions or virtue is to do positive actions, actions of kindness, actions of compassion, and through that, then you go higher. You go, when lots of positive karma is accumulated, positive, virtue or positive actions are accumulated, then you are always born in positive realms and everything goes well, and then even if you are in samsara, you don't suffer, you don't have problems, And once you have accumulated the wisdom, then you can go out of the samsara, you can totally liberate from, and then there's you get enlightened. And both this accumulation of merit is very important, because it helps you to find the right kind of situations where you can have the your wisdom eyes opened, you can say. So what we are praying is that may we able to accumulate so much positive karma that through our positive karma, that we will be able to if there is a huge we can accumulate a huge rain cloud, and then that rain cloud can go on top of a forest fire, then the rain from that rain cloud can quench or can put off the fire of the forest, and then save all the beings which are being scorched by that fire. In the same way, I would like to. When can it be that I would be able to, collect or gather or accumulate so much positive actions and merit that I can actually use that to help all other beings free from their suffering. That is 166. And then 167. Namye mipa mechete kwepi sunam tsosate mipi pongwanjana tombanjana tuembanja. My wealth of merit gathered in with reverence, but without conceptual aim. When shall I reveal this truth of emptiness? So not only, that may I be able to, help people, to bring them out of suffering, may I be able to give them whatever they need, if they are suffering from hunger, may I be able to give them food. If they are suffering from, cold, may I say, give them, whatever problems they have, may I be able to give them some kind of a solution to get rid of those. If they are sick, then medicine and health and, whatever, wealth, health, education, whatever. But that alone, that will only for a temporary solution. So, may I be able to give them the, experience of wisdom. Because as long as they are not able to do that, then they will not be able to free themselves from samsara. And if they cannot free themselves from samsaric state of mind, they cannot have a lasting freedom. They cannot really completely, free themselves from suffering. So, my wealth of merit gathered in with the reference, but without conceptual aim. Although, I think, let me look at another translation here. This is a new translation. The same thing. My wealth of merit gathered in with the reference, but without conceptual target. When shall I reveal this truth of emptiness to those who go in ruin through belief in real existence? So this is happening. Although my understanding that all these phenomena are emptiness, interdependent, that including myself and all these beings are, in emptiness, and the nature of them is. But although I have this experience and understanding, it is not easy that I could, even Buddha had this experience, but he could only help some people by these teachings. So may I be able to bring this understanding with wisdom, with skillful means. Skillful means and wisdom and with this both two, the skillful means with wisdom and with positive actions together. These two means that I accumulate lots of positive action and I accumulate all the wisdom, and both together, then, because if I don't accumulate positive actions, I cannot reach people. I don't have like the, I don't have the capacity to reach people and help people. I cannot help. I don't have the means to reach people. And if I don't have the wisdom, I don't have the main thing to give them. So with both of these, by fully, accomplishing these two accumulations, the wisdom and, sunam, merit, wisdom and merit, then how can I, bring this understanding or truth of emptiness to all those people, to all these samsaric people who think that all these things are truly existing, So may this happen. May I be able to do this, And that would be my ultimate goal. And this can be done only, if I can understand this wisdom, because once you have this wisdom, you can yourself be liberated, but you cannot liberate others because you don't have the backing of the, positive actions. So in the end, what it's saying that, these two things, two accumulations are so important. Accumulation of merit and accumulation of wisdom. Yeah. So this book has been all about that, the wisdom is the essential thing, the most important thing. But others are equally important because they are, accumulating positive actions. And these two together, then you can become yourself enlightened. You can help all other beings also, So this is what, we strive for, we want, we pray, things like that. That's our objective, the main aim. Accumulate two wisdoms, two accumulations, wisdom and merit, and through that, we can help all the sentient beings to realize this wisdom, and then we can truly and genuinely help people in a permanent way, in a lasting way. Otherwise, we can help them a little bit, but it's very temporary help. Like if you give some food, yes, it is help, but it will keep them, from hunger for just half a day. So it's like that. So this is now the end of the 9th chapter, the chapter on wisdom. So we have finished the chapter on wisdom. This class or this session has been a little bit long, but I hope you don't mind. So thank you very, very much. So see you soon again for the last chapter, that is the chapter on dedication. Thank you very much.